Well, hey. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, 30 plus year video game enthusiast and industry analyst. And today, for March 16th, 2026, I'll run through the latest gaming news, what I've been playing, etc., etc. Morning, Ultronomous, Jam Killex. Good to see you guys. It is spring break for the kids. So I could be annoying right now because I am doing a show, and who knows if my voice is going out everywhere, but yeah, I hope everyone had a good weekend. Um, I did. I had a fun weekend. It was a very chill weekend of playing a lot of video games, which I'll get to, and going out with some friends. That was fun. But it is cold. It was in the 30s this morning when I got up, and it was in the 80s yesterday before we went to sleep. It's crazy how that works. Okay. What could we get into? Well, something came up. I don't know what it was, but I jumped back into the retro handheld. This is a really good one called the RG Cube that I got, and then as soon as I set it up and got it going, I just stopped using it. But it's like really nice, really high end, and I was just jumping into, and it was the Dreamcast. So like, and I forget. Well, let me check something. I forget what it was that did that, but something got me to want to play. I think it's just having it available in the living room to do multiplayer, but Crazy Taxi or Virtual Tennis, Dreamcast stuff. And it's funny how much this is very Dreamcast like, in a way. But anyway, I I was thinking like, but Crazy Taxi on an emulator is not the same because, or not on I meant to say Crazy Taxi, the re-releases are not the same because the music, the licensing, but on an emulator, it's the best way to play it. So, yeah, popped it on here real quick. And the other things that I want to test out on this is like the HDMI out. Well, it's just a video out. Um, Bluetooth things, some controllers, because in the past I've done. It's like got to play, emulators. There's so much to it. It's like, do I stream to my PC to then play emulators? Do I hook up like when I had that emulation tablet? Actually, I still have it. Do I use the ROG Ally? And what's neat about this is it's just, again, it's a handheld that works great. I think I have it's not a review, but it's a setup of the home screen. But then you could just like, output to a TV to do those games. So and it was funny because part of me was even like researching, oh, what's the latest new handheld I could buy? And it's like, no, I don't need to. These are perfectly fine. They were made for the games that will always exist, the old school games. And so, yeah, it was fun jumping back into this. And I had this other one too, and that's why I don't need anymore. Now, this one's a little more pocketable. And actually, these two are rated the best by very prolific handheld enthusiasts. But this is the RG35XXH. Same brand, same company. It's just that this is way more pocketable. Oh, yeah, and it has the HDMI out right there at the top. Not Android, though. So the other one's Android, so much easier to deal with. I mean, this is easy, too, but with Android, customizing. That's why I got an Android phone back in the day when it was Android and iPhone. Even though I did have an iPhone, there's a couple times where I used iPhones and it just never kept me. Okay, what's another thing? I think that's about it with like extra like gaming stuff other than what I've been playing. So we're just gonna jump into that. Let me pull up the screen share here. Okay. So number one, yeah, because of having this little handheld, I jumped into Dynamite Headdy, and what's great about this is, I'm in the emulator. I'm signed into Retro Achievements, which hooks up to Exophase. So I only played a minute. I just jumped in real quick before bed. Dynamite Headdy, Sega Genesis, Treasure, and it's really good. I was going back to that, and another one that didn't pop up here because the ROM wasn't the right ROM. That's something else I wanted to research anyway. Alien Soldier. That's another Treasure game. If you guys played Alien Soldier, Awesome game. Okay. Um, the Outer Worlds 2. So the only reason I decided to jump into this is because it's made by the same developers as Avowed, and I was like, you know what, I really like Avowed, and I want to play something else, in that vein. Even though this is a first-person shooter, jumping in though, so far I'm having fun because it's very gameplay heavy. Like it's really about making sure you're shooting your shots. Like it's more of a shooter. There's not much to the combat yet, other than aiming. There's an ability to slow down the time, but anyway, excuse me. Um, yeah, wow, I've played for 2 hours 6 minutes. I'll probably jump back into that. Now here's another one: Dragon Quest Builders 2. I played the first one and I really liked it. Although it must have just been a demo, because when I was looking up my play history, it didn't show up. I bet on the PS4 it was a demo I played. But anyway, the second one was on sale really cheap for, again, the Xbox Play Anywhere, so console and PC. I was like, I might as well get it, and it's fun. It's a fun game. It's like a more structured Minecraft, and I don't know if that's what the new Pokopia, the Pokemon Pokopia is supposed to be, but yeah, Dragon Quest Builders 2 is like a very structured Minecraft. You're building based on quests. It's really fun. It's a very fun kind of cozy chill game. And then yeah, Crazy Taxi. Interesting, only 6 minutes. I wonder if, because achieve combo of 8 first passenger. Okay, maybe I only played for 6 minutes. That again on the RG Cube when I was wanting to test out some games. That one must have been one then, yeah, that got picked up by the retro achievements. So what that means is, for every game, there is a ROM out there that's more of the universally accepted ROM, even though there's variants. But yeah, on the retro achievements website, it kind of helps show how that works. Or it shows what one to get, I should say. Okay. Greedfall. Here's another one. So Greedfall 2 just came out. I don't know too much about it. I just was reading how people liked the combat in the first one better. And I was like, well, is it that much of a difference? And well, it is. I was looking at the combat for the second one. It seems to have more of a cooldown turn-based thing going on, but still real time. Whereas the first Greedfall is just a straight up action game. Almost Souls-like, but enough. I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's very action, but not. And at least so far, it's not like Souls-like action. It's just very much like, here's the attack button, here's the parry button. It more of an endurance thing. Yeah, I feel like it's like, how far can you, or how long can you hit, block, hit, block, dodge, block. That's what a lot of the combat is, and it's actually really fun. The setting's cool. It seems like, I don't know, pirate-esque, but man, sometime between the 1400s and the 1600s, maybe. I don't know. Well, they do have the musket, so it's got to be 16, 17. The different types of guns. I don't know. I'd like to say I'm a historian, but not really. So when you play Greedfall, it has that feeling of a lower budgeted game, like a AA game. But at the same time, I feel like it's what I see a lot with that. A lot of times when you get these lower budgeted AA games, there's a little bit more character throughout the game, the dialogue, the just what's around you. It's almost like an indie film versus a big bunch. I mean, it's like the same type of thing. It's very interesting. I do like what I see in Greedfall. It's a very, I would almost say it's like an action RPG that anyone could play. I didn't have any hangups when I was getting started. It's dialogue heavy at the beginning, but you're constantly moving around and it's showing you how to navigate the quest system in the world. So Yeah, yeah, give it a shot. I would say Greedfall is probably worth playing. Um, let's see. Then I jumped into the Nintendo Switch Online. I was playing Mario 2 just for some fun. You know, I think that Mario Galaxy movie, there's references to Mario 2, and then oh yeah, on the Switch Online, I think it has where you can get coins from. I don't know. Nintendo. Sometimes when I'm bored and surfing the Switch, Nintendo makes it easy. Yeah, because what I was playing on the Switch too, Scott Pilgrim EX, and I beat it. I beat the story mode campaign. I then did New Game Plus on hard, so it's pretty much where then I do um go through the whole game again, but I have all my upgrades, all my unlocks, my levels. So Scott Pilgrim EX is a very good game. I would say there's only one thing that really keeps it from being absolutely amazing 10 out of 10 game of the year. And it happens to be the world design, but only in a certain aspect, because in general, the world design is amazing. I would say it's more of level structure pacing specifically. This is a beat 'em up, and it has a structure similar to River City Girls. And I guess it's an interesting combination of type of beat 'em ups that this game has culminated into, and all the references. This game is so reference heavy, from its gameplay to the pixel graphics that it shows. References everywhere. This game plays like a River City Ransom style game. Um, EX, even with that, from the story of what they're talking about to EX being used in some of those Kunio games. Was I about to say Kunio Okawara, the artist for? Anyway, they're Kunio Kun is what they're called. The beat 'em ups. So this plays better than the first Scott Pilgrim because it's faster. There's a lot of enemies, but it's very like quick combo heavy. Move on to the next one. A plethora of moves that you can use. A plethora. It's another one of those words. It So everything about it is except that. Oh, the other interesting thing is, and I brought this up before, this, as far as I know, the story, it's just a story about like that. It's a game. I don't know how to explain it. Like the other Scott Pilgrim, it was about the movie, right? And this one, it's like its own little thing. So that allows it to do so much in the world when you're walking around. But the each time you walk onto a screen, it's just a single plane level. And so you get from one end to another, and then you can go up, but it's like you're pressing up where it says go. So it's like, again, it's within a single level. Because what I'm trying to get at is some beat 'em ups will do it where you're traversing and then the camera moves, and then so it seems a little bigger. Or it goes up and then you're traveling up and it seems, so that's missing from this game. So then sometimes the game feels like it's a screen-based action game where you're like, oh, now you're on this screen, so now you're fighting enemies. Now you're on this screen, now you're fighting. The game feels more restrictive in how you're moving around. You're not like fighting and then like moving through the world and then other enemies are coming down from places. And I think that was intentional because then it plays out like a Metroidvania where, again, you have these different screens. Some screens there's no enemies, some screens there are enemies. And if you press start to see the map, you could see like where to go for where you need to get. And in the game is a lot of that where it's you go all the way over here, you do something, and it's like, okay, now go all the way over here to get the thing. So then you can come back. Now, that doesn't take a long time, and so I'm not complaining about the traversal, but what then happens is these screens I was talking about, there's not many. So the game is rather small, but I think the game is only $25. So, 28.99, 28.99. So I want to say that I would say the game is a little more restricted in its gameplay elements, not the mechanics, but more of the world you're in. But for the price, this is probably the perfect length game, and there's still more I could do. Again, I'm on New Game Plus on hard. There's other characters that I can be leveling up. So I guess, yeah, at the end of the day, I spent a lot of time kind of critiquing this level design, screen-based action issue that I have with it, but I think it's just because I like it so much that just stood out to me. This is a really good game. I think if you like beat 'em ups, it's worth it. I think if you like video game culture, 100% this game is worth it. Sonic and Mario references everywhere, Mega Man references everywhere, every game. Bloodborne, Castlevania, like it has all that stuff. If you don't like, like tribute games, beat 'em ups are hit and miss. I would almost say this game is the best in their variety of combat mechanics. Ninja Turtles is better traversal, and I think what's just fun with the Marvel Cosmic Invasion is the variety. That I guess that the variety of characters, but for like a single character, the move sets in Scott Pilgrim are pretty good. I think that's it. Maybe with Scott Pilgrim. Again, I think it's worth it. I think it's a lot of fun. The music is fantastic. I might have more to say. I might do a proper review where I'm not like spending time critiquing that level thing. I might just mention that, but really talk about all the things the game does. That, I mean, everywhere you look, there's a reference somewhere. Okay. Left Alive. Still play more of this. I'm proud of myself. 6 hours and 16 minutes into Left Alive because, again, this isn't that great of a game, but it does a lot of things that are really cool. I would say there is a very core fundamental issue with the design of the game that I think is what keeps Left Alive from being a decent game, and that is the enemy AI. In it's not fun to engage with the enemies. It seems like the game wants you to just headshot them or sneak past them and not actually engage with them, which that's the problem. The way the pacing of taking out or sneaking past enemies is, the game is very slow and boring. The game tends to be a little more fun if you could be a little more action heavy, like say a Division 2. But then what happens is the enemy, like in Left Alive, when you're fighting enemies, sometimes they'll just stand there or they'll move to the side and just shoot you. Like it almost seems like then you're just taken out. Okay, I'm just so used to playing so many other games that have come out in the last 20 years where the enemies will kind of jump around, maybe run around, and they do that a little bit, but it's so much where I know exactly what's going on at all times. Like the enemies are never going to do anything to surprise me. So. Oh yeah, and there's some chat. I'll try. I feel like it being a stealth game and on a low difficulty turns the enemies into easy fodder that ignores you largely. Yeah, in that could be what it is. But I think even on the hard difficulties, the enemies still have very limited functions in what they do, because most of the time when they find you on hard, you're dead. You're either caught or you're shot and killed immediately. So I think they designed the game for there to be a reason for the enemies to do much. And I think that's what I could see on casual. But that's the thing. It's because then that's all it really is. That's what makes the main game a little boring. That's why people don't like this game. It is crazy. Like how low, not only how low the review scores are, but for instance, does it show me here? Let me see. Like chapter 5, only 11% of players have finished chapter 5. I mean, that's a low percentage of people to play through this game. To want to keep going, I should say, really, because it decreases. Obviously, it drops off. Actually, let me show you. There's some cool stuff. Thank you. What I was saying was this shot looks really good, right? And so you think, oh, wow, that looks amazing. And in this area, I was saving a guy, right? And so by me saying, oh, I'm saving a guy in this building, I had to rescue him, and then all these enemies came, et cetera, et cetera. The the thing is it's not as exciting as it sounds like I'm saying, because really an NPC was just standing there. And I just had to press X on him. And there was just nothing in it does do cutscenes where the characters are talking, and that could be pretty interesting. Cinematic. But once you're in the game, it's like a by the numbers, because then after that, the enemies were closing in. It was like, watch out, enemies are closing in. And they'd come from the same place that like the guys were dying, and it just, but I feel like it's still worth completing. Like, I feel like it's still worth it. I go through and beat this game. So we'll see. We will see. Let me head back to, and that was about it. I think, yeah, that was about it. I didn't really do much else. This is Xenoblade Chronicles X, but that was probably just the last game I was in when I switched. Hey, so that was fun. It was a fun little mix of different games. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I wanted to look at this real quick because I have barely even been updating this. It is March. It's the middle of March, third month of the year. And it's kind of interesting to go back and see like what I've played, what I've beaten, what's been like a pattern, and so far, Suika Game Planet, and it's funny because I put that there because do I even really beat that game? No, you just play it. So that's on the list. And then Scott Pilgrim EX, and I have this column of games I completed. And it's kind of crazy that came out this year. It's kind of crazy that there's not many games that have come out this year that I've completed. But I guess what games have come out this year, right? I beat Chronicles X this year, Chronicles DE this year, so I think that's actually pretty good. And then just a number of games that I've started. These aren't all of them, but I'll kind of go back and maybe throw in some other games. And then Live Service, High Guard was, the one I tried. I do want to try Marathon. It's just that it's something you got to pay for, so I don't know how much I'm going to be into that since I got to pay for it. It's not free to play. But, it was interesting because I was thinking, what are some other games that came out this year that I've played through and beat? And really, just this year, there hasn't been that many yet. I think it's going to change here really soon this week because we have the Starship Troopers Bug War and Crimson Desert, which I'm super stoked for. Let's look up something here real quick. Yeah, Crimson Desert. Can't wait. Yeah, there we go. That's like the number one game people are waiting for. There's that Monster Hunter Series 3 that someone described it like Xenoblade. They said it's like a Xenoblade. It's just, I played the demo and I don't think I was really into the combat. It is turn-based. Let's see. Let's go to new releases. Here we go. This is sometime today. I guess, is it not out yet? Starship Troopers. In 2 hours. I don't know how much it's going to be. I'm guessing $25. I want to see if they have it listed on sale anywhere. Nope. Oh, it's called Ultimate Bug War. You know what? That could be a fun Switch 2 game because it's going to run fine on it. I was thinking Steam because PC, ROG Ally. I'm going to have to think about it, but let's see. I was hoping somewhere. No. Oh, wait a minute. So here's something that's interesting. It says Ultimate Bug War Switch 2, so it's an actual Switch 2 version. $24.99. I think this is the first we've seen. That's exactly what I thought. $24.99. Huh. I don't know. I think Switch 2. Just because the game doesn't require high-end graphics, it'll be fun on the TV, handheld, and then plug it in here too. I might do that. Really cool. So I'm going to save this page, or I guess, hit the little favorite there. But totally going to grab this as soon as this is available. That is really cool. Okay. Back to the other release. So the other one I want to get is this, and I'm really, this is an Xbox Series and PC release. See, so it is $70, but I think I do have a $10 Microsoft gift card that I'm going to use, or the rewards, Xbox rewards. So I'll use that. So that will be, and that's interesting. So this will be my big game purchase of the year, like full price, right? I don't think I paid full price for a big game purchase yet this year, because I paid full price for Scott Pilgrim, but that was $25. This is $70, and from everything I've seen, I'm willing to pay for this. So, this is an example of, like back in the day, if it was Dreamcast N64, that $60 game, I think games were $50 on Dreamcast and like 60 or 70 on N64. Let's see. Jim Killex, I'm loving Monster Hunter Stories 3. The combat does feel trickier, or I'm just out of practice. Well, keep me up to date, or keep me updated on how you feel about the game moving forward, because I think it looks great. And it feels great. It's just the combat I wasn't too sure of. Altronomus, next thing I might splurge for is Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, but I'm indecisive due to price. Yeah, I want to say it was just on sale. Like, I think, where was it that it was on sale? Let me go. I actually got it from this site, or I found this sale. Yeah, I don't think it's on sale right now because, this is just showing 59. Like, if you go to historic low, 32. It was $39.99 officially 3 weeks ago. So yeah, if you use the gg.deals to track, and the upgrade pack on Switch 2, those MFers, they got me. Okay. Well, guys, I think that's about it. This was a good catch-up episode. Is there much news? There probably is. All of the here we go, the Crimson Desert stuff. I'll have to Dallas, 5 p.m. Wait, preload? Or wait. It could preload tomorrow, and it will release. Sorry, I had a fan on underneath. 5 p.m. March 19th. Okay. It's like right when I get off work. What a coincidence. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. That was a lot of fun. Be back tomorrow on the Gundam Explained channel. So I'll see you live there. See y'all.